What is up? Back here with another YouTube video, and in case you cannot tell by the title below, this one will be a video where I share my thoughts and opinions on if Randy Orton should really become WWE champion again, whether it's the World Heavyweight, whether it's the undisputed WWE championship, either one, the top singles championship on Raw, and or SmackDown. Would love to know what your thoughts and opinions are on it, the potential of him winning it. Would you want to see him win it? He is currently a 14-time champion, definitely not in first, but definitely not in last. When it comes to holding the world title, 10-time WWE champion, 4-time big gold belt, world heavyweight champion. Hasn't held it since, I know that he held the WWE championship in like the fall, I want to say, of 2020. So that was the most recent time, beating Drew McIntyre, then losing it to Drew McIntyre. And honestly, there's times where I personally forget that he was champion that relatively recently. And when it comes to Randy Orton, myself personally, it is one of those things where, to be fully transparent, I'm not necessarily a Randy Orton fan, supporter, mark, whatever terminology you would want to use. I'm not saying he's bad in the ring. I'm just saying his style of wrestling, going back to like the mid 2000s, is not necessarily what I personally find enjoyable. Should he win the WWE championship again? Personally, I would say no, and that is, again, no disrespect to Randy, but it's one of those things where he's not necessarily the most interesting character. He's not the most interesting on the mic. He's not the most interesting in the ring. For myself personally, he could be somebody's all-time favorite, somebody's guy, so to speak. His former tag partner back in the late 2000s was is one of my guys. But when it comes to Randy, there's so many. I'm not saying that he's does not have talent. It's one of those things that I don't know for sure if this makes sense. But yeah, there's just a lot. When I say better, what I mean is overall more interesting people in WWE nowadays. Whether, heck, I would even take a Punk month-long world title run over a Randy Orton month-long title run. And I'm not necessarily a big Punk fan nowadays, but when it comes to Randy Orton, personally, he's just not interesting in comparison to other people on Raw and SmackDown, or either one, for myself personally. And I want to be interested in the top singles championship feud, in this case the world title, the WWE title kind of deal, the ones that like Gunther had, the ones Cody Rhodes had relatively recently. But it's also one of those things, if he hypothetically wins the world title, it would be like, oh great, when will it end? But there's also, on the other hand, people who I would not even want to see have the world title for one day, let alone a hypothetical month. So when it comes to Randy Orton, he's nowhere near the top 5. He's definitely, I would say, in the middle. Like, I don't know how many people they have on the main roster between Raw and SmackDown, but let's say if they had 100 people, 100 men that could win, hypothetically, the WWE championship, he would be like in the 60s kind of deal, like between 60 and 69. Nice in my ranking of guys who I would want to see champion, like definitely towards the bottom, then near the top. And that's, again, dating back to like 04, where I didn't necessarily find Randy Orton the most interesting. Definitely a legend. You could all argue legend killer as well in WWE. But when it comes to Randy, it's just one of those things where if I need a nap, I know that I can watch a Randy Orton match. Again, he's a better wrestler than what I would be. So, and I don't want to feel like that towards the top singles champion. But though I personally do not want to see him as a world champion, nothing against him. His worst match ever, without a shadow of a doubt, would be a lot better than my best match ever, hypothetically. But yeah, those are my thoughts and opinions on if Randy Orton should really win the WWE Championship again. Would love to know what your thoughts and opinions are on it down in the comments below. Hope you guys are doing as okay as possible, mentally, emotionally, and physically.